Especially when I first got to London maybe 10 years ago, there was a lot more record shops open than there are now, and all the good record shops and all the good music shops for like studio equipment and things were all based in central London around the Soho area, so about there, pretty much in the centre. Yeah, you had a bunch of record stores there. This was before Phonica was there, but you had Black Market, and which was quite a legendary shop, it's still going now. Sourdoreille, which is more a bit more alternative as well. A lot of good second-hand shops. Yeah, so it's still a good area for record shopping, but it's not as good as it used to be. Especially before the internet was such a big thing, or before the internet existed at all, record shops were really the social hubs for DJs to meet with producers and to meet with label owners. My first job was at Prime Distribution, which was a vinyl distributor doing mainly techno and a little bit of house. I think we could have a problem here. Prime was on the outskirts of London because it had so many deliveries, it had to be near the main roads. I think some of the earliest kind of acid house and techno clubs were in the centre of London, mainly this kind of Soho, central London area, as far as I know. The first club I played in London, I think, was the Key. There was a whole group of clubs near King's Cross Station. So there was this thing called the Bagley's Warehouse, which was a huge warehouse complex which was used for raves and things like that. There's also the Cross, which was 2 large rooms, more kind of house, progressive house. And then there's this smaller club called the Key, which would do everything. That would have been around here. And a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago, or a bit further than that, the government forcibly bought all this area, so the clubs had no choice. They had to sell the land, and it's now been used for the redevelopment of the King's Cross train station area. So yeah, in one go, London lost 3 or 4 great clubs. Well, if we go down to Elephant and Castle, south of the river here, we have Corsica Studios, which is probably my favourite London club, which is there, which is where I do the Perc events, like one a year or so, and it's also the club I play the most for promoters such as Plex, and also the stroboscopic artefacts nights happen there. And then very close to Corsica Studios in the Elephant and Castle area, but a very different atmosphere, is Ministry of Sound on Gaunt Street. So that's probably, along with Fabric, is the most famous club in London. I've never played there. I've been there quite a few times to watch friends play, but it's not the kind of place a lot of the kind of underground techno people would get booked to play at. The craziest places, probably you're going to go over to East London. I did a launch party for my Wicker and Steel album in a warehouse not too far from Old Street Station. So yeah, that was a warehouse. People lived there all the time, and they sort of moved their stuff to one side at the weekends, and they did these free parties. So yeah, that was a crazy one. And with that kind of party and that kind of venue, you never know if it's going to happen, if the police are going to come, if it's going to be any good. And that one was quite a success. So yeah, I have good memories there. Yeah, the obvious choice really is the parks. These are the 2 main parks of London, Regent's Park and Hyde Park. I'd have to say I prefer Hyde Park. Regent's Park, you can get some great views across London because it's higher up, but yeah, Hyde Park is where I'd go if I had a day off in the summer. Yeah. Chelsea, Fulham, places like that. It's a lot of money and just, I don't know, not so much culture. It's just money, but there's no feeling or atmosphere down there. And there are clubs, but they're more the kind of bottle service, champagne, different kind of thing. Yeah. Most of London is a mix-up of all different types of people. Yeah, definitely Camden has a mix of all kinds of people. Otherwise, yeah, Portobello Market is there. So yeah, that's a good mix of people. It's a mix of all different types of people and kind of independent shops and market stalls, and also big brands. Sometimes it drives me mad, but I love it and I know it really well, and it's such a big city, but I love it. Yeah, it's still my home.